Hey YouTube, what is going on? It is Jackstar back with another video, and today we are going to be going over my 20-win run, flawless 20-0 with classic Pekka BRIDGESPAM, sort of classic Fireball Ghost, the variation that most people are playing right now. So I'm going to be going over like the last 5 or 6 replays that got me to 20 wins with this deck. And I can already see the question. I'm recording this right after I did the Pekka Ramrider video, and I can already see, should I use Pekka Ramrider or Pekka BRIDGESPAM? You should be using Pekka Ramrider because it is a lot more solid against a lot of matchups, and it's a better matchup against most different decks that you could come up against. However, if you have no experience playing with it and only have played Pekka BRIDGESPAM, or you played a lot more Pekka BRIDGESPAM than Pekka Ramrider, Pekka BRIDGESPAM will still work. I got 20 wins with it twice, so you can definitely go ahead and get a lot of wins in this challenge with it. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into some of the replays here. First replay here is against FC Basura, and so normally I would include a loss, but somehow on this run, 0 losses, as OJ would say. I went 20-0, and I'm really happy about that because I did 3 20 wins in the first 2 days, and the last time a 20-win challenge was around, it took me 4 days just to get 1. So I'm really happy with my improvement, and it's very nice feeling. So we're up against Lumberloon, and it's 2.9 cycle. So he's got Ice Spirit and Musk, and I was like, oh no, 2.6. I have such a good run. Don't ruin it, 2.6. So we're just gonna Fireball his Musketeer, knock her forward. He places the Ice Golem, and I'm like, oh no. So he's gonna go for a Lumberjack, and then at this point I was like, wait, hold on, what? So Pekka's gonna go ahead and accidentally smack up the Ice Golem at 0 HP. Eventually gets to that Lumberjack. Lumberjack drops the Rage though, however, and the Balloon is coming in. So at this point I was like, oh, it's 2.9 Lumberloon. All right, great. This is a good matchup for me, and I will show you guys why it's such a good matchup for Pekka. Excuse me, I have a bit of a sore throat still. If you guys didn't see the previous video, I was like drinking, and I'll probably have to take a few sips just to keep my throat going. But Pekka's going to get so much value, and I go for the high bandit just to make sure we can kill that Ice Golem. It was a smart pullback by him, but Pekka plus 2 bandit shots or a bandit dash does kill the Ice Golem. So Barbarian for him is coming in clutch, fully counters the Battle Ram with the help of that Ice Spirit. However, we do have the damage lead and a slight elixir lead. Perfect for this matchup. You guys can even go down that balloon hit. We could have gotten no damage on that counter push and been perfectly fine. This matchup is just so easy because you have plenty of ways to counter a balloon, and they don't have the greatest support for it. Like a miner is so much harder to kill with the balloon push. And against Lumberloon, you can play your Battle Ram to kite the balloon, or the Lumberjack, to the other lane. Lumberjack will get 2 smacks, but then it will fall behind as the Battle Ram speeds up, and a Battle Ram will actually connect. So you can kite it away and then play an Ewas on top. 0 balloon hits on your tower. He's going to go in for a snowball here, though. I go for a high bandit to snipe this Musketeer, and Bandit's going to unfortunately die. However, we do have this Pekka still alive, so I go in for a Battle Ram. He's going to go for the Ice Spirit. I go for a Zap as soon as I possibly can. Snowball's going to come in just in the nick of time for my opponent, but this time the Barbarian Barrel is not going to work its miracles, and the Barbs are still there, forcing an Ice Golem. So now we still have the damage lead. No damage was really exchanged there, but I've got a huge elixir lead. So we're going to go in for the Magic Archer in the middle, because it will cover both lanes. If he immediately rushes me, which he did, I was expecting that, then it will completely cover it. We get no hits taken, a massive counter push. So I go in for the Battle Ram to tank for the Bandit. I wish the Bandit had dashed on the Musketeer, but it's fine. Battle Ram is going to connect. I go in for the Snowball. Unfortunately, our Bandit does die, or not Snowball. I go to Fireball Zap to kill the Musketeer. Fortunately, the Bandit does die. Marcher's locking on for even more damage, though. He only got death damage, and now both of his towers are at 1,000 or so HP or lower. That one's actually within Fireball Zap range. Fireball Zap range is like almost 260. I think it's 261. I go in for the Ghost to predict the Balloon, just to cycle as well. Like, I mean, this would have been an okay defense. We would have taken a balloon hit, except I actually would have had to Fireball. So if I needed to defend, easy defense there, but we do walk away with the win. Fireball Zap doing plenty of damage. So our next replay is going to be against this clone deck. Now, this, actually no, I had one game more hype and close than this one, but this game was extremely close. You guys should definitely watch. Hopefully my phone will eventually load. There it is. So I'm going to actually ×2 it for the first little while, because this game was basically entirely rinse and repeat until the final thing, and I thought eventually after enough repeats it would work. This is why you guys shouldn't play like me all the time, because I'm a little bit silly, and I thought that if I just kept throwing stuff into a Valkyrie, as you'll see later on, it would eventually break through, and spoiler alert, it doesn't. I don't break through by spamming into a Valkyrie. So he's going to go in for a giant skeleton in the back, I believe. So I cycle my bandit in the other lane, and then we go in for a quick Pekka. I go before I'm at 10 just because I want to see if I can get this Pekka as high as possible. Valkyrie's going to come in low. I go for the Magic Archer low. I kind of panic here. We have to Ewiz late, and I kind of panicked so much, and I took so much damage. And he goes in for the Firecracker, and I'm so low on Elixir, I can't punish him for that. So what I do here is I go in for the Battle Ram, and I try and shove a Ghost in front, but it doesn't work. He's going to get a Valkyrie down, and we kill the Ewiz, but we don't get any damage whatsoever. And that is going to be a recurring factor. Recurring occurrence. I'm going to keep going into that push with Valkyrie, and we're going to get no damage. And it's kind of insane. We get a huge fireball value though, and this time I actually do have a Magic Archer, so the rinse and repeat is slightly different, but he's got a nice tornado coming in. Valkyrie unfortunately gets one extra shot, and we do get one Pekka shot and a bandit, so that actually did work out. We eventually punished him. I go for a high Pekka to block the bridge. Beautiful Magic Archer right there, going to kill the giant skeleton clone and the skeleton barrel clone immediately. We take a little bit of damage. Trying to predict the goblin game with that little trick where you put the Battle Ram and then you quickly tap the ghost so that in the same tile, so that it gets put in front, and they might play a goblin gang into it, and your ghost can kill the goblin gang, but it doesn't work. So I Pekka the back, knowing he's a bit low on elixir. Very smart play by him here, though, because I have to waste my Battle Ram. Go for a bandit, and we do kill the Ewiz and keep the Magic Archer alive, which is really nice here. So we're now going to slow this down, because last minute is where this game gets really intense. I go for a Pekka. We have to start up another push. He's got no giant skeleton in the cycle yet. He's going to go for the giant skeleton. Where is he? At the bridge. So I go for the Magic Archer, same lane. He does not go for the high Ewiz. I go in for my Battle Ram Ghost combination. He plays a Panic Skeleton Barrel just to cycle. Like, Skeleton Barrel's not going to get much value, but he's going to end up countering that push pretty effectively on the other side. So I go for a high Ewiz. This was a really bad Ewiz, because now my entire push is just going to get killed by those two Firecrackers, and I would use my Pekka in the other lane. Like, what am I doing here? It's definitely not winning the game. So here we actually do manage to get the ghost. This was a beautiful ghost. That should not have worked. Like, that was a last-ditch effort to try and get something started here, but he's going to have a nice NATO. I go for the Ewiz. We're spamming 18 seconds left. He's going to go for a giant skeleton, and you're like, wow, how are you breaking through the giant skeleton? This is the end. Until the Magic Archer coming in. He's going to have to cycle to his Tornado. Tornado is coming in, but he tries to Tornado. He panicked. He Tornadoes the other lane. Magic Archer putting in so much damage, and we walk away with the win. It looked impossible, but we won, and that was just insane. That game was so much not fun. It was not fun until the very end when the Magic Archer was like, yo. But it was definitely quite the experience. So we're going to go into the next replay here against E-Giant Archer Queen, and this game was just domination. Like, this was not even close from start to finish. I believe I flawless this guy. Like, he got no damage on my towers through spells or anything. It was just one of the best E-Giant games I've ever played. You guys will definitely have a field day learning from this. So I hope that you guys can replicate what I do in your gameplay, because I don't normally like to admit that I played well, but I played well. So if you guys want to copy it, optimal situations. Let's go ahead and speed up. Oh, he actually hasn't played anything, so I just go for the Battle Ram in the back. I wanted to get the game started. If they're willing to wait almost a minute, it probably means they're playing a heavier deck, and you don't want to run into that and double elixir. So I go for my Ewiz, and then I go for a quick zap on that Brawler Bandit with the Bandit dash, and we're able to go ahead and make the Bandit dash a little bit. So Ewiz is coming up. Ewiz is eventually going to double shoot, stunning the Dark Prince, and then we can retarget it, the Baby Dragon, onto that Dark Prince or the Royal Ghost, and then we get quite a bit of damage, and he's gonna Archer Queen. And I think I go in for the Fireball. He's NATOing everything to his tower. Barbarrel comes in though, and we get so much damage. So this game has already been blown wide open. Against a good E-Giant player, if this had happened, like even against Famous Kid or something, I would still be really confident in my position getting that much damage. Because basically the main way you win this matchup is you either wait for me to make a mistake and give you a massive E-Giant counter push, or you Lightning Cycle if the game is close. And Lightning Cycle is now completely out of the books. If I see him Lightning Cycling, I can start throwing Fireballs, because I can still defend pretty easily. And Fireball doesn't create much counter push, it's just a straight up overcommit, which I can handle rather than a straight up overcommit plus counter push. So I go in for the late Ewiz as late as we can, and he can't activate his King Tower, but I still go in for the Battle Ram just to support this, because Ewiz is going to help me against the Dark Prince, and then I think I zap, no I don't zap this Dark Prince, Ewiz is going to like make sure the battle ram connects though, and so as you can see, his towers are very low. Mine are still flawless. So I go in for the ghost at the bridge. I was just kind of trying to get something out of his hand there. I didn't really want to play him in the back because it would just wouldn't do a whole lot. I thought playing it up at the bridge would make his cycle a lot more awkward. So Magic Archer locks on, and then we just take this utterly massive fireball, and then I go in for the zap. So unfortunately, the Magic Archer is going to die to his baby dragon, but that's perfectly okay. I cycle my ghost in the other lane. He's gonna go for an E-Giant in the back, which kind of saved me. I was getting ready to Pekka that cage, I think, and having the E-Giant come down is really nice. Even though that brawler is gonna help me out, help him out a lot in his offensive endeavors. So Bandit in the other lane, I'm not too worried because there's no way he can bleed through a Pekka as fast as he needs to. I just go ahead and quickly fireball this Archer Queen. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite die, but it comes out of its ability quickly, and the Magic Archer is going to go ahead and just tick off that brawler. And we go in for the ghost to support the Magic Archer, and he's going to go in for an E-Giant there to protect his tower. I don't know why he did that, switching lanes, because the E-Giant's now taken so much damage already, and at this point I was like, wait, he hasn't even touched my towers. Can I win this without him touching my towers? So Barbarrel will not get any damage, so I can afford to eat that, but I'm actually going to cycle it and the Bandit into that lane anyway, just because, like, I need to cycle the Bandit. So I go for a high Magic Archer here, just because I want to start sniping the Baby Dragon, but I don't want him so high that he's easy to kill at the bridge. So we're going to go ahead, Pekka smacks up the Dark Prince. I go in for a Fireball, horrible Fireball, actually, on my end. He's going to go in for the E-Giant, though, and this is looking decent here. Like, Archer Queen, her ability isn't helpful in this matchup because the problem isn't the Pekka dying, it's the Pekka not killing the E-Giant fast enough. So we defend perfectly. No damage taken. Bandit's going to dash onto that tower. We've only gotten 110 damage since we broke through really early in the game on that tower. Baby Dragon doesn't splash, but, I mean, he's gotten no damage at all anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Magic Archer off to the side, going to go ahead and kill this Dark Prince first, and then Pekka's going to go ahead and smack it. He lightnings just to kill the Dark Prince, or to kill the Magic Archer. So I go in for the E-Wiz, and E-Giant, no damage on that tower. We're still alive for no, like, it's kind of crazy how 16 wins. I'm trying to win with no damage. But our hopes and dreams are still alive. At this point, I don't really care, though, because, like, just to make sure I don't throw the game, I do have to give him damage if he takes the opportunity. So Pekka's going to come in, and I think I'm going to E-Wiz as well, because my Magic Archer is going to have a really nice job cleaning up everything over there. So we kill that E-Giant completely. 14 seconds left. Balram's going to come in, and he's going to just let the game end. That is going to be GG, well played. 8 seconds left. We go for a Magic Archer. He is not even going to try and take the damage. And that's going to be it. We go, and we take the tower before tiebreakers. Beautiful game. Just absolutely phenomenal game right there. He made a big mistake to let us break through, but we would have won that game anyway with just how well we were playing. I could have afforded to go more aggressive. I just didn't want to throw and was trying to get a swag win. So, it is what it is. If you guys need to get damage in that situation, you can definitely play a little bit more aggressive. Like if they don't use their Goblin Cage, or if they've used their Goblin Cage, going in for a Battle Room is always a good play. It's hard for them to defend that. They have to overspend. So, going into the next match against Nightheart Candy. I was a little bit distracted here, so we go in for the Ghost, and then I didn't zap that Hog Rider. I zapped some Hog Rider to prevent a hit, but I let the Ghost walk. I thought he was playing 2.6 here, since I saw the Ice Spirit. No, Hog actually activates the King Tower. Really unfortunate there. We don't like it when they activate the King Tower, guys. So I know since he just spent 4, I can cycle my Battle Ram in the back. He bleeds just a little bit. So I believe I go in for a Magic Archer in the back, and he's playing Lightning. I thought he was playing Rocket, but this could have been really scary. But I actually played this pretty well for the most part, and didn't allow him to get a big Lightning off on my defense, which would have helped him win the game a lot more effectively. So going for a Bandit over there to tank for this Executioner, and then I just go in for the pre-zap on the... Actually, no, I don't pre-zap the Skeletons yet. A little bit of foreshadowing there, guys. We do end up hitting a pre-zap on a Skeleton. So going for the Ghost just to counter this Valkyrie. He's got an awkward hand, and I've got an awkward hand. So I just zap that. It gives me an excuse to play a card. Like, my hand is so awkward here. I just needed to play a card. So is his, so he goes for the Hog Rider. And then we're able to go for the Pekka. Pekka does get a shot, and then no Hog Rider hits comes in. He wastes 6 elixir into that Pekka for log damage on it, and no damage on my tower. Looking really nice here. So I don't actually have my zap in hand. I just used it somewhere, which means I'm not going to really be able to kill this Executioner. That's fine by me, though. Not the end of the world. And So Pekka almost hits the Executioner, which would have been really nice, but we're able to go for a low Bandit here, and then a high Iwas, and this should only be one hit on tower. Maybe I even zap this Hog Rider too. No, I just take the hit here, and the Bandit's got a little bit of HP left with Log, and I know he's only got Skeletons in the cycle. I know that's where they like to place him. Pre-zap comes in, Bandit gets a dash and a shot. Huge damage. This is going to be a damage. This is normally a damage really important matchup. Like, you're not going to take a tower. They're likely not going to take a tower unless you screw up. So you need to get all the damage you can. I Pekka the bridge into this Valkyrie because now Valkyrie's completely gone. She's almost negligible when compared to a Pekka, like damage on a Pekka. So now he's got to defend the Pekka. He's going to go in for the Hog Rider. Skeletons come in, but he NATOs the Ghost in and allows me to kill the Skeletons there. So I go in for a zap on this Executioner. Ghost hit plus zap kills the Executioner. We get a Pekka shot on tower, and that was just such a really nice sequence by me there. He goes in for the Hog Rider. I kite the Valkyrie away, and now I'm a little bit low on elixir, but it doesn't actually matter all that much. He does get quite a bit of damage back, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he does have to spend over there. So I go for Ghost, because Ghost is going to be difficult to deal with just the Executioner and another Swarm Troop. So I Fireball that forward. Valkyrie's going to come high. This is why you always want to try and get like as much Fireball value as you can, because now we're able to zap, and Skeletons are not going to get the value. Bandit's going to go ahead and just dash straight on that log. So much on his tower. Bandit's going to town, and that's why we win. All because we pushed the Executioner into the Ghost. He would have protected that Valkyrie had we just fireballed it normally with the Valkyrie, and that would have been a defense. He would not have had to have worried, but since the Ghost killed it with the zap, we were able to get so many troops on the tower and get the win. So, for the 19th game, we got Tanjo Anjo. This is one of the best graveyard players in the world, multiple top 100 finishes, and he's got a hard counter against me. This game was absolutely insane, though. The clutch up at the end. It was beautiful. It was the most insane clutch up I've had in such a long time. So I was a little bit cowardly here and tried to see if he'd draw me, because I have talked to him a little bit, like not directly, but like we've interacted before. So I tried to see if he'd draw me. No luck. We're still gonna have to play versus Graveyard, and I was like, no, I'm 18-0. Don't make me play this matchup. I don't want to start losing. I don't want to throw. So I got in for my Bandit behind the tower. I just like to go behind the tower. I like how she dashes, and if you play behind the tower, then she has to, like, she needs to make sure she dashes and doesn't take any damage. It's just a nice way to ensure no damage is taken. So, Ghost is going to come up. I go for a Magic Archer off to the side here to kill off this knight and add a little bit of DPS. He cycles the Baby Dragon, and so I go for a Pekka at the bridge. I'm a bit low on elixir, but we can get some damage with this Ghost. He's got a defensive Graveyard, and I just need to make sure I count. I was thinking about protecting this Magic Archer, but I really thought that would be much more, like, much better for me to just defend the Baby Dragon. We do have about the same damage, so he's a really low on elixir, and I can't counter both lanes, so I'm just going to go for a Battle Ram, because actually I can counter both lanes, but like I can't counter both lanes with one troop other than the Battle Ram. So he's going to go for his Cage. Again, he's low on elixir, so this Cage is not going to really punish me all that hard. We get some nice damage onto that Brawler, and then I think I just zap it, because I don't want to play anything that's going to give him a King Tower activation, and I don't want to spend 6 elixir into a Baby Dragon. So he's going to go in for a Baby Dragon right here in the back, I believe, which I'm completely fine with, because I can just cycle my Bandit into this Baby Dragon, and that will mostly finish off all the tanking. And I actually think I'd go for a Magic Archer just because I thought he was going to Graveyard. I wanted to kill his Baby Dragon pretty quickly, because then he wouldn't have a tank for the Graveyard. So he goes for the Barbarian Barrel, and now I think I'm up a bit of elixir because he has to counter the Magic Archer, so I Pekka the back here. And this was a bit risky after seeing the Bomber, because he might have just been able to go for a Graveyard. He pre-places a Cage knowing I might kite the Knight, so after that, I'm just not going to kite the Knight. We're going to go for the Battle Ram. Ewa's off into the lane to help with the Pekka. Unfortunately, the Knight dies quickly, and the Ewa's walks up front. That's basically the end of that push. There's no way to really break through with the Ewa's walking up front into the tower. But we're going to do our best. We're still going to try. This push is not doomed until it's doomed. Goblin Cage is going to come down. Now the push is doomed. And he's going to have a decent counter push. However, we do separate the Baby Dragon from the meat of that counter push with the Knight and the Bomber. And we go for a Pekka to tank the Baby Dragon. This is honestly not a good situation, though, because that Baby Dragon doesn't cross the bridge. So I was waiting for it to cross the bridge. It doesn't cross the bridge, so we just have to go for a low Ewas, and he takes the poison. And this is where things are starting to get a little bit do or die for me already. Like 2 minutes left, considering overtime, and it's already do or die. Fireball the Bomber. I go for the Magic Archer because he just used the poison. He's actually going to have it back in cycle pretty soon, though. Baby Dragon's coming in. He's going to go in for the poison now on the Magic Archer. And I just blocked the bridge with this Pekka. So I go in for the bend in the other lane, knowing he doesn't have too much. We force the cage out of him, but then we give him the King Tower activation with the Ghost, which kind of sucks, honestly. And the Pekka's going to take 2 shots to kill that Brawler, and I just have to let this go. There's no way to break through the Baby Dragon and the Bomber and everything else. And he's going to go in for a Knight Graveyard, I believe. Magic Archer's going to go ahead and snipe up on that Bomber, but now I don't have it. Look at my hand. I got to counter this Knight. I should have played my Ghost down low and let the Magic Archer do its thing, but we have to Pekka to tank for those skeletons and then zap. That's a death sentence right there. Like, the way I win this matchup is literally 1 in 1,000. Like, this is not a consistent way to win the matchup. Under any normal circumstances, that was a death blow. There's no way to come back. Fireball, hitting the Baby Dragon and the Bomber. We're going to mostly clean up this defense here, but he's back to another Bomber, and Bomber just does so much value against me. We get 1 Magic Archer shot. Nice reflexes on that Tornado, though. I'm always a sucker for nice reflexes. Like, if you have good reflexes, I respect that because I enjoy good reflexes, and I think I have decent reflexes, but some people just have insane reflexes. I don't know why, side tangent, but we're going to try and spam through this Knight. I go in for the Fireball on the Bomber and the Tower, just trying to catch up in damage. We actually do have a little bit of a good thing going on here. We get the get the Bandit on the Tower. NATO's going to unfortunately pull the Magic Archer in though, and that could have been game right there. We could have actually came back. We undid the death blow just to get death blown again. Like, this is impossible. Like, he's going to get a huge poison here, and he's already back in the damage lead by 500. There's no way to come back. Now he's into it. Now it's almost 1,000. Like, it's so much damage. So we're just going to spam, and then he's going to just bar barrel the other lane. He's poisoning the Magic Archer. He bar barrels the other lane. I fireball the cage. Made it look like a fireball the tower. We get the Bandit on. We zap. Ghost is coming in. Bandit's getting the hit. 1 more from the Ghost. We walk away with the victory. He thought he could swag Barbell. If he had just played the Barbell there, he wins that game. And nice fireball there. It was like a perfect fireball in hindsight because it made him think I was just fireballing the tower. But we hit the cage. Bandit dashes and we get everything onto the tower. So that was just like a crazy game. And I was like so hyped after winning that. So let's go ahead into the final replay of the game here. So we're going to go ahead and just play this at normal. And then I'm going to speed it up because this was a little bit of a boring replay. So he's going to barrel, and I was a little bit conflicted here on whether to fireball or ghost. In the end, I ghost, but it's a little bit too late, and he gets so much damage right off the bat. 500 damage, completely avoidable. I could have fireballed it for no damage. So he's going to go in for the Dark Goblin, and he Valkyries. So I go for the Battle Arm other lane because I didn't want to play the Bandit immediately expecting him to Valkyrie. So then we can go in for the Pekka here. And then Tesla's going to come down, and he's going to be like, okay, I got to kill this Battle Arm before it kills the Tesla. Unfortunately, it connects because the Skarmy was too late. We kill the Tesla and the, what's it called? Skarmy, the Skeleton. Pekka's going to come in. He's at 2 Elixir. That's already tower down. What a beautiful sequence right there by me. I knew that I needed to cycle the Battle Arm in the opposite lane, but I didn't expect that sequence to go that well. And that's already tower down a minute in, and I was sitting on my stairs after going to the bathroom. I was like, huge sigh of relief knowing that we were looking really good. So let's go ahead and speed this up to ×2 because most of this game is just rinse and repeat. High E was to go ahead and counter that Skeleton Barrel. I like the high E was more because it does get a little bit of counter push. And then I kind of just wait for him, the Dark Goblin, to get close. No risk needed. Go for the Magic Archer. I didn't know he had a Fireball. At this point, I thought he was playing no big spell. So, unfortunately, we do lose the Magic Archer. I go for the Battle Arm just to tank for the Valkyrie. Didn't have my Bandit back in cycle. That's going to be fine, though. Pulling the Valkyrie back. No hits on the tower. Actually, 1 hit on the tower, but it's going to be okay. So, cycle the Valkyrie, and then, or the Bandit. He actually gets a nice Valkyrie here, and this was a little bit scary. We're going to take quite a bit of damage. And then I just have to fireball. We spent quite a bit of elixir, but we do have half of the tower. That could have been a lot worse. So he's going to go for the same thing again. This time I make sure to wait for the Valkyrie, and we do end up assassinating the Dark Goblin, and this defense goes a lot better. We still guys get quite a bit of damage, but overall it was just a lot better. We go for the bottom just to pressure, because he still has to take that tower. Go for the zap, and I was going to fireball both of those, because I could hit both of those, but we didn't even need it. Timer runs out. And that's GG's 20 wins with classic Pekka Bridge Spam. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and it will help you get more wins in the challenge with your own Pekka Bridge Spam deck. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.